Well, the album is called Chasing After Ghosts. Do you have a ghost you have to chase after?
Figuratively, yeah, I
We've got
guess.
mice. We've got mice in the house. No
We
ghosts.
should chase after mice.
Can you explain, let's say, what's the thought behind the album title?
Yeah, it was. There was a few different ideas, so that's why we chose it, because it kind of filled the whole spectrum of the album, really. But ghosts refer to sort of memories quite often, and kind of looking back at things, and I think often there is a sort of nostalgic tinge to it. But then also, like I was saying, it's the idea of a ghost is something that lives on after its time. Like in creating the album, that's something we want to do. We want to make something that people listen to long after we're here, and so it's quite bold and ambitious to say that. But we want to sort of come up with a piece that's going to be listened to long after we're gone, and sort of make something.
What's your favorite song now on the album, on the new album, and why?
On the album, my favourite song is one called Just Like Dreamers. The reason why was probably because we got into the studio and we realised that actually the song in its original form wasn't very good. So it took us like a few days to completely take it apart, put it back together, so it was something we were happy with. And then when we first listened back to it, it was so new and interesting. It was like listening to a completely different band. Because sometimes when you write songs, it takes the mystery away, it takes the magic away from listening to a song, because you were part of the process, you know what's coming, it's not a surprise. So with Just Like Dreamers, because it's the newest song, I think it still sounds exciting to me to listen to it.
And for you?
My favourite is a slower one called City of Lights, and it's quite different to was replaced at the end of the album, because I think it's an indication of where we'll probably go, and it's definitely like a slower tempo, but yeah, for me it's sort of quite promising, and more like a kind of every time I listen to it I think it's indicative of where we could be, and I think I like it for that reason.
So next album, slow album?
Not necessarily slower, but I think more considered perhaps is the word.
You write lyrics, you sing them. Does it work?
It hasn't come to blows yet. I think it works because a lot of what Dan writes about isn't particularly self-obsessed. A lot of what he writes are, like we said, stories. So it doesn't feel odd for me to sing the stories that he's written. If he was singing, a song about his girlfriend, like all this, like a love song, it might be a little bit odd for me to be singing it. But we don't have too many of those. We're not that kind of band. So, singing the stories, I feel a bit more like an actor, and that works. I think that works. So.
Is there one song or one line that you wrote that is actually about him, but that he doesn't know?
I'm not tell you that, is it?
There isn't. But if it annoys me, I might stick one in there.
Last question: is it your first time in Groningen?
Yeah, it's first time in Groningen, yeah. I don't really know much about Groningen, really. I know that Arjen Robben used to play for Groningen. Yeah, I know that from Championship Manager.
Good knowledge.
Thank you. I just mentioned Mark Poom to the Estonian radio station, and they were impressed with that as well. But other than that, no. But it's like, it seems to me we've been to Utrecht, we've been to Nijmegen, and I've been to Amsterdam before. And every single city.
And Den Haag.
And Den Haag as well. And every single city is just like really beautiful. Every city in Holland I've been to, it's just been so scenic. And it's
There are also not so many nice cities. Or
well, we've avoided them, but but it just seems like everywhere. It's just like we came when it was snowing just for Christmas, and it was just like seeing postcards. It was just so scenic. It was like really beautiful city. All place.
How important is it for you to play in Groningen now at the Eurosonic Festival?
Well, people keep telling us it's very important. I think the main thing is for the people above us to tell us that kind of thing, and us to absorb it and then forget it, really, because last night we played to a lot of people, and today we've been doing all this stuff, like all these cameras and stuff is very alien to us. We're not used to it. It seems like we get a lot more attention whenever we come to Holland. It's lovely, and I think really we're kind of just really enjoying it. So whether or not it's important, I'm sure it is, but hopefully we'll get something out of it. But the best thing we can do is enjoy it, and we are really enjoying it. So.